Hello and welcome to the Cowboy4Game Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm your host Jake. Today we are joined by Brad from Bragio.
Hello.
And Ben from NolanTCG.
Hello.
How was our week in Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm not going to start with you, Ben, because I know
We're going to be here for
it's
a
going
while.
to be a long conversation. Brag, did you get up to much this week?
Just Master Jewel. Playing tier.
You're on the tier train? Yeah. How are you finding it?
I miss Triple P, and I'm sure Ben will mention as well. But, yeah. I'm even playing Ben's version when he was driving. I'm like, well, I could really use Triple P right about now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of lists are like just trying to turbo as much as they can into getting Triple P on the board because it is so powerful,
Yeah.
especially when you're in so many mirrors. Like, it's so important.
Even against rogue matchups and just a bit off, the off-turn pop using the shark, like that was one of my biggest utilities. I remember playing tier months ago. So not having it here is like, actually I might be in trouble. I'm not used to being in trouble here because I'm like, I've still got a pop. And I'm like, missing that pop is a bit rough. And yeah, just grinding along. I have been way more in Pokemon this week. And so when I was playing you as well, I'm like, whoa, there is so much going on. There's a lot. And that's kind of wild. And good. It's like, it makes me feel a bit better that I'm processing this, and then I go back to TCG Live and went, this is drag. Yeah, I'm done, and I win. But yeah, grinding for the suit ship, mate.
Yeah.
I'm cutting.
I believe you're almost there.
Yeah, I'm not that far away from it either. It hasn't taken me long, but I suppose, yeah, I'm in a point at the moment. Are you done with your thing? Because I can move on to my thing.
Nearly. I actually, on that note, do you have to claim to get the rewards before
Yeah,
the end
if
of
it's got the little number on it, it means
Yeah.
you haven't claimed those
You forgot
rewards.
to claim last battle pass.
Yeah. I booted up and went, because I didn't tier stuff, and I saw the 0. I'm like, oh no, I never claimed it, did I? We'll go through my stuff, not how I'm like, oh dear God.
I don't know how you do that. I get like one level across, and it's like notifications on my phone. I can't deal with having the number there, so I'm like, claim immediately.
No, I'm on Brag's side where I rack them up, and then the next time I go to play it, when I'm logging in, I'm like, this is it. Claim 45.
Like, I'll have a game where I force quit, where I'm like, nah, I'm done. Like, go down, and I'm not even exiting through the menu, I'm out of here. Fucking.
Yep.
Oh, so like
Open
just
system
going that.
setting, control or delete, task manager, kill.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But yeah.
Oh god, there's so many people that do that if they don't win the die roll because like it comes up and you're like, I'm gonna go first, and then it's just stuck on the loading screen for ages, and it's like, connection lost. It's like, you coward.
When the game first came out, if you did that, it didn't count as a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, your streaks continue.
I just do it in rage. I don't do it for any tactical reason.
Yeah.
I've never like gone as far as that, but there have been some games where I've shame surrendered because I've like made a horrible misplay
all the time.
or something like that. And I'm just like, I can't bear the indignity of this. I'm gonna leave.
It's best of one. The moment the slightest thing does not go in my favor, I surrender.
Yeah.
I'm like, done. On to the next game. I'm not going to win any points from this game anymore. Goodbye.
In the lower things, I don't, because I know that they're just as likely to make a fuck up as I am. Whereas once you're in Diamond, it's less likely.
Like, I've been playing against Terelement since like Silver 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an immediate impact.
Yeah.
It's like, people weren't just like, I might just try and like bump up my, well, some people were, but not everybody. But like, I'll just bump up exos and like make them more anti-tier and all that kind of thing. Everyone's just like, no, give me the Fusey women.
I've yet to play against Exo.
Yeah.
I played a few.
Actually, maybe I should do it. No, I just can't. I'll go to you. Like, that's the thing. It's just, I don't know. If you had it, and also they might have disenchanted it to get the
Little tier.
Yeah.
Because it was
Like,
so expensive.
it was expensive, but it wasn't like out of this realm expensive. Like sacrificing a deck and buying 3,000 gems worth of stuff I was able to build. I didn't sacrifice that much either.
I spent 8,000 and had to scrap like a decent chunk of things.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my pulls were fucking horrible for my 8,000 gems.
Yeah, look, as
didn't
much
even
as
have
I'd like
half
to
the
complain about mine, I did pull a Royal Rare with Carlos, so I was like, I'll take that.
I pulled a Royal Rare Amazonas woman.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, at least it's a full of a normal one, I guess.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't me. I thought I had got a royal rare, the wallaby, the Melfi wallaby,
Yeah,
but that was a streamer that I watched.
Ah, yes. I am the streamer.
One day, actually, yeah. At some point, I want to stream, but I know my laptop won't cope it. Like sometimes I open up a Word document and it just fucking loses its shit. So that might be a tax time purchase for me.
What's it like living in 2012?
It's fine.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Be
though.
careful. Be careful. Dragon Roll Spellbooks is pretty soon. Just make sure you're ready to buy that.
Anyway, my week. So yes,
$50
Master Duel, Tier Elements. I quite like my build at the moment. I'm not running goods, so like I've just got some hand traps and stuff in there. I probably could put goods in, but I kind of like the way it is. Heartbeat does similar in that, like once I send a trap to grave, I then get to add it back to hand. I like my build at the moment. It's not the best build. I just like it.
Heartbeat's like mandatory in that deck.
Yeah.
100%.
Best of one. That
There was
that
another-
mandatory.
Yeah, there was another one where it's like, oh, yeah, just another name I should put it into.
Yeah, it's the Book of Moon one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that one in there too.
Meta Noise?
Yeah.
I'm not paying Meta Noise.
I like Meta Noise.
It's cute.
Because when you get to the interaction of like they try and summon Abyss Dweller and then attack over your like Sprite Elf to then make Zeus to then blow up the board,
Yeah.
it just outs that problem because you're just like, oh, you want to attack? Fleet.
Yeah. There's also the problem that I'm playing on mobile, so a lot of the interactions that
Yeah.
you have in that deck just don't work.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. When we were watching Tom play, that it wouldn't let him change his field spell the way that you normally would change
Yeah,
a field
you
spell.
can't
So
change
he
it
just got massively dunked on because he couldn't
Yep.
pop things the way he wanted to.
You are playing with one hand tied behind your back, playing mobile for element. It's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating.
also, the clock running down as well. I had like 20 seconds where the clock's going down while the menu hasn't popped up. I'm like, hey, hold on, I need those 20 seconds. I really do.
Yeah,
Came up
that's
the other day where I had like 9,500 on board. I had comboed off to clear board and I had like 15 seconds left, and I was like, battle phase, attack, and each declaration was like, okay, it's gonna take 4 seconds of declaration,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just gonna run out of time. I can't attack with all 4 of these monsters to make game. I just can't do it.
It is the one thing that I've found more so with Tier Element than any other deck I've played on Master Duel is that the timer is painfully short.
Yes.
Because you have so many things that happen at any one time. Like, not only just the interactions that you're trying to manage when you're actually making plays,
Yeah.
but also the opportunities to respond to other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, every time your opponent does something, your Mudora and your Keldo and Grave are like, can
Prompt.
we shuffle now?
Prompt, that's
Yeah,
10 seconds
I-
gone.
yeah,
Prompt,
yeah.
that's 10 seconds gone. Prompt,
And-
that's 10 seconds gone.
I mean, well, Triple P wasn't up. I probably could have turned it off because I was nearly out of interactions for no reason. I had the
Yeah.
shufflers in grave. So I could have turned it off to try and save a few seconds. But you just never know. And it's just like, if something happens and I have that on auto and it
Oh.
decides, oh no, this isn't a prompt you
Oh.
care about.
No, you can't do that in mobile. You can't change it away from auto.
Yeah,
It's
it's only auto, and
only
that's what he
auto.
was talking about before. It's
You
like,
can't toggle off or on.
yeah,
I thought it was the, they just wouldn't let you do the chain.
that
so
as well.
You can't toggle
it's
off.
both.
Yeah. How we're a year and a half into having this game on mobile, and you still can't chain block, and you still can't just turn off the ability to chain.
And that's wild because
Stupid.
A fair chunk of the player base would be mobile.
Yep.
Like, I would like to see but that's just how gaming works.
Yep.
Like,
Well, if you give people a more convenient way to play it, that's how they're going to more often play it. But
Yep.
if you're encountering problems like that, people are less likely.
I don't
Especially if they're
sit in a
playing.
computer chair and play Master.
but that's like, I mean,
Like,
that's how I do it because I just don't like the mobile app or whatever. But also, it's why I take forever to do anything in it because I can only sit there for an amount of time and go, "No, I'm
Yeah.
done with this."
yeah.
Like playing on mobile would be better, but obviously the drawbacks are.
And you don't have that problem on Switch, do you? Like you
Oh,
can.
Switch has its eyes, so there's a whole other bag of
I've never
cats. for
considered
Switch.
trying to play it on Switch.
I think Switch turn on like console play only as another play as well. I've heard people do, unless that was for a different.
Xbox is ridiculously easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do that in like standard competitive play, but once they start doing like duelist cups and stuff, they disable that function so that you can't
Because-
just be like, I want to grind all the morons on Xbox.
The person who won one of the Duelist Cups.
Yeah, the
was
very
just
first duelist cup,
he's
he
like,
just
Xbox.
turned off crossplay.
No
So he was
crossplay.
just versing the Xbox morons.
Dominated.
I mean, you were playing Switch more than me the other day? How did it go?
It was fine. It was just like the sometimes the buttons confused me just because it was like the first time I picked it up. So when I was on ladder and stuff, I would be like, oh, I think that was a misclick. But other than that, it was fine. Like if you're using those controls all the time, it's fine.
Maybe I should be a Switch gamer then. But then in my head I'm like, oh, I've still got a bunch of other games to finish. If I'm over here playing over here, I don't know. Maybe I play on the Switch. I don't know. This is just me now. Like, I'm the problem, not Master Jewel.
But yeah, back to my week. Really enjoying Master Duel. I'm at Diamond 1 now, so there is a little bit of time where I have to be like, what do I do?
So it goes plat and diamond, or diamond and plat?
Diamond highest. Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm
I
at
thought-
Plat 1, so I'm at the highest. No, sorry, Diamond 1. I'm at Diamond 1.
Okay,
I am at Diamond 1.
okay. I'm at like plat 3 at the moment, and I'm just like, yeah.
That's fine.
It's been a while since I played a tier mirror, which is weird.
That is weird.
I've just been playing against floodgate decks.
Yeah, so there is, like, it's majority of everyone playing is playing tier, but then you do get those ones that just swing real heavy back the other way, and they're just like, I'm going to play every no card that I can find.
Yeah.
I found Sprite is really funny. Most times that I've versed them, they'll like drop D-Shifter in the standby phase. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. They go for Gigantic Sprite, and I'm just like, Imperm, your turn's over, I kill your thing, and your shifters meant nothing.
I haven't been shifted yet.
Oh, well.
I've been shifted quite a few times.
I've not been shifted. I have been Dark Lord a lot. Like, I'm
Lord.
getting hit with Mask Change 2 very frequently.
Yeah,
in the-
okay.
There was something I considered though.
I saw, yeah, because that's the other thing that's coming into it as well, is like the spicy text for the tier mirror. Dark Law's a big one.
Yeah.
I've seen Chaos Hunter being another big one, because you can
Oh,
pitch
yeah.
your Miller to summon it, mill some stuff, it turns off their shufflers. So I can see it.
Something that I've been considering playing but just don't know how I'd find the space in my list. The Nemesis Corridor? Coriander?
Did you say
So-
Coriander?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I think it's Nemesis
Corridor.
Corridor. So you banish one of your shufflers, shuffle their shit back, then Corridor back
Put
a
it
shuffler,
back,
get
yeah.
level 4, turn it into
Make
a
Colossus. Yeah, I could see that being cool.
Yeah. Fun play. Something I'm considering.
Yeah, at the moment, I would play some of those texts. Like, I didn't mind the idea of the Chaos Hunter, and like I suppose you have to see those things for them to work. The only thing is, like, I quite like where my deck's sitting at the moment in terms of consistency. Most of the time, I'm getting to the board that I want,
Yeah.
and I don't want to fuck that up. So I'm just leaving it as it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And if it becomes more prevalent later on when the ladder resets next month, and assuming the deck's still alive, we'll see how things go there.
Something that I've also been fucking around with is I put evenly matched in my main deck because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll get to my rant in a second. But how's locals, Jay?
Locals was pretty good on Tuesday. What are my matchups? Versus Salad, dumpstered him. It was real good. So he set up Heat Soul with the back row. I can't remember what the card's called. The Coda counter trap.
Yep.
A Link Rebo, and a bunch of stuff in hand. I was
Yep.
like, cool, alright. So I'm going to card you your Heat Soul, so your back row's dead. Then I was like, Fusion Deployment for Albaz. Albaz effect to try and summon with the Link Rebo. He goes, Effect Veiler. Okay, cool. Normal Summon Aluba, Effect to Search, Effect Veiler. Okay, cool. Set a card, Allure of Darkness, banish an Albaz or Aluba or whatever. Tactics, look at your hand. Okay, cool. No Ash Blossom. Flip the Separated Diffusion. And then, boo!
That would have been fun.
It was very funny. What else did I verse? The main one, I guess, is in the fire. Oh, hang on. What was I versing then? Do you remember what Grayson was playing Tuesday? Because I can't.
No, I don't remember. Didn't play against him.
But yeah, versus Grayson, we had one of those. Well, I had one of those instances where branded bricks, and then he had a brick in his, so I got effectively a turn to try and get my resources, and I had enough no cards for his no cards that my yes cards could do stuff.
Okay, so you drew cross out for his Ash.
I did.
No.
Yes, I drew cross out for Ash, but more than that, I also had the Book of Eclipse for the effect veiler on my Luger.
Okay.
So there were some tings.
Yes.
So yeah, got into the finals with Luke, and yeah, the deck just fell apart, as it tends to do whenever I get to the finals. And then I got screwed over by a use not activate effect, because the Baron negated my branded in white. I got the branded white back to hand, went to use it again, and he's like, "Oh, that's use, so you can't do that." I was like, "Fantastic, love to see it."
And I disagree with that, because it says negate the activation, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was activated. So therefore, you should be able to use it because the activation wasn't negated.
Nah, but the activation was negated. You still use the card.
Honestly, there's so many keywords that only come up every so often, but when they do, they just wildly change how an interaction works.
Like Baron on your Lightning Storm, and then you can Lightning Storm them again.
Yes. Because there was a period where they made everything use, and then
Yeah.
they just stopped doing that and went back to activate because they're like, "Oh, we've put a fuck ton of
This was
negates in the format."
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right around when they brought out Witch's Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything was use.
Honestly, use is such a weird term that they should never use. Like,
Nah, I personally like the use versus activate.
or it should just.
I think use should be on like busted cards.
Yeah. So here's the problem with that.
Branded
Branded
White
White is
isn't
not a
busted.
busted card. Branded White is garbage.
It also
was
came
just
out-
all I had.
Brandon White was in the first round of support too, before the structure deck.
Yeah, like ages ago. It's like a very niche combo card, and it's like a way to still make a branded board if your branded fusion gets ashed. So you're only playing it out of like a last resort scenario. So to have it be used is actually so gross.
Yep.
Should be play or activate. Those are the only two words you should use.
Should be the defining point between Dex Konami intends to be meta and Dex Konami intends to just be printed on cardboard and people have in their pack filler.
It shouldn't exist. It's
Meta Dex should say use. Rogue can say activate.
it just feels like first few packs bullshit. Like select.
Oh yeah, the wording on some of those old cards would be like,
It just feels like
choose.
that. It's just should we play or activate? Like
Yes.
what's use? What's use? Whatever.
Anyway,
But yeah, so yeah, ended up losing the finals, and then both you and Luke pulled Altia Lubers, which I've now secured. So I have my playset of Altia Lubers.
it's my second ulti Luber I've pulled.
Yeah.
Second one I've taken from him.
And he hates them.
Yep.
He does.
You like them.
Yeah.
Isn't it a funny old world?
I don't hate them. I'm not a huge fan of the Altia Lubers.
Oh,
I like the depth that the secret has. The ulti loses it a little bit and it looks a bit muddy.
I'm supposed to still. I gotta get the ulti cherries.
True. Yeah.
Josh and Hayden have them for me. I just
They
need
do.
to remember to actually try and get them off them.
$10. $10 each. Not worth any more.
You heard it. Market
I
price
mean,
is insane.
Hayden heard it. There's no way Josh heard he's this.
0% chance.
Someone comment this in the video. Someone comment it in the video, then he'll see it.
Someone link it to a video he's in, and then he'll read it because he goes to every comment section any video is ever in.
True. Very true.
Maybe ulti branded in white.
Yeah, that'd be a useful ulti.
Well, we'll get
Just
on.
like the rest
We'll
of
get onto that. We'll get onto that. Ben, is it time for the rant?
We'll get to my rant in a second.
Oh.
So, my week in Yu-Gi-Oh! I decided to play Water at Locals. Had a bit of fun.
Umi control.
I only bricked once, which was straight. Oh no, I bricked twice. But, like, I only hard bricked completely unplayable goodbye once. Every other time that I bricked, I could still at least do one thing of the combo. So it wasn't that bad. I've been playing a fair bit of Master Duel as well. Been playing True Element.
What was your record?
Locals?
Yeah.
It was 2-2.
Nice. See, I
Not
like
bad.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I went and had a little bit of fun.
He did the funded thing where he didn't have an extra deck so that Cashtira can't do things.
Yeah, I didn't play an extra deck. I was like, fuck it. This is not playing extra deck. Sure.
That's so
Because
good.
at one point Josh was like, he can make Stealth Kraken, and I was like, nope. No, I can't. So yeah, that was my locals. And then yeah, I've been playing True Element and Master Duel. I've decided that True Element is the worst deck in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
So I need clarification on this because I asked you about this and you gave almost no clarification.
It's because I was going to bed when I sent that message.
I'm going to put this out into the universe and then
Yeah,
fuck off so I can't explain myself.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like sending this message and I'm going to bed. It's just shit. Like, the deck is, especially in its Master Duel form. I think it should have came in a Master Duel at full power. I don't think that that's a wrong thing to say. I think they should have just put it in at full power. They're going to ban it in 2 months. Like, what's the difference? Every single person is playing 60% of True Element, or every single person is playing 100% of True Element? At least if both players are playing full power True Element, there's no luck to its back and forth. You can kind of expect that you're going to hit cards. It's not a case where you're like, whoop, I've got 11 cards in deck and there's 4 True Elements. Hopefully my mill 3 here is just gonna hit. And then it doesn't. It's very much more luck-based and less skill-based than the actual version that we played in TCG. And I hated the version we played in the TCG.
You did, famously.
And it's not because I didn't like it. Like, no, I didn't like it. But I had the deck. I played the deck. Was not terrible with the deck. Just fucking couldn't stand it. Playing it felt shit. At no point did you have control of your game state. Your game state was completely reliant on milling cards.
You can do it with goods.
You could do it with goods, but that's putting bricks in your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I have just decided that it's the worst deck in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
And
Thanks
this
for
is
the fun
Master
now.
Duel form. Where you're being more specific.
Its regular form was just shit because it's just a shit deck to play against. It's boring. It's just so fucking boring. Like, there's no kind of back and forth skillful interaction. There's back and forth.
But
I disagree with that.
I feel in December when I was starting to pick it up and stuff, there was a huge gap between me and you, me and Leah, like that, and then I had to grind out. Like, I feel there's a little bit of a skill gap, like knowing the exact.
But a lot of that just comes down to, when do I use my shufflers? Do I use my shufflers to target my opponent's shufflers so that when we both mill 5, I can resolve my mills? There's a lot of those kind of interactions in the deck that exist that are just shit. It's not a case of both players have their 5 cards in hand and it's one. Like, I very much like 1-to-1 trade-off decks, and the more I play Kashtira in its 1-to-1 trade-off form, the more I am enjoying playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that is a deck that I genuinely enjoy to play, where both players have their hands. You can go trade-off, 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 and whoever wins, wins. In the sense of True Element, it's... We each have 5 cards. We're each going to mill 5 cards, maybe 10. You could mill 13 if you have a Havness, and whatever flips off the top is whoever wins the game.
But in the same regard, the first 7 cards 6 whatever cards you draw in cash
Yes.
are also the same as the mill. Like, there's still an RNG element.
But at least they're direct interactions that you can use.
I mean, most of the cards Tier was sending were direct interactions they could use.
Yeah, 'cause they're tier cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just make graveyard hand.
Yeah.
They're just making a bigger hand.
Yes. Exactly. It's complete luck as to how big your hand is.
And so if you run a pot card in when because you're running extravagant thingy, yeah, in cash.
Pros being crack.
Oh, you're running pros. Let's say pros. I'm cool with. So
Yeah.
you dropped desires.
Never was playing. I'm playing just the ultra consistent 1-to-1 trade-off list. I'm not playing the oh, I'm gonna just try and get as many cards as possible to do as much as I can.
Did I not ask him 2 weeks ago if he was playing? No, I asked him if he was playing Prost, but then I thought you were ready to Desires.
I don't think that happened. You asked me about Prost, but I don't
No,
think you
it was
said
because we were talking about the YCS, and at the YCS people were playing Desires, and I was like,
Oh,
that's dumb.
oh, that was dumb.
Yeah. There's one odds that you play in the deck. It's look.
Look, one of my thumbnails contacts completely changes and is probably incorrect.
Oh well. Anyway, that's the most part of my rant that I can still remember from my brain coherence. Also, yeah, Master Duel's just evolved into hard counter to tier or half mutilated tier. And if you're playing a half mutilated tier mirror match, that's not fun. If you're playing against hard counter tier and you win the coin toss, you win. If you're playing against hard counter tier and you lose the coin toss, you lose. It's just not fun. It's not fun Yu-Gi-Oh.
Depends on your perspective, I guess. I'm enjoying it immensely.
I also don't want to sit there on my phone for 20 minutes playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
The fact, like, if it was a best of 3 and I was actually like going to sit down and properly try and play out a match, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more. But best of 1 element, I think, is even worse. Simply because your entire match is varianced on luck. There is no like ability to side deck in to counter your opponent and have that good bit of back and forth that is added in a best 2 out of 3. That's just my points of my rant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You do have you have a valid point here.
There are points to be made, but I don't think it's like a complete write-off for the deck. I don't think it's like, no, nobody play it, we'll wait until the ban list and we'll
No,
get to
people can
stuff.
play it. Just the moment I get the rewards from the ladder, I ain't ever touching that deck ever again. I will just put it to the side and hope that they ban it before we get the next lots of stuff.
Which is likely.
He's a Birdman in his heart.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing about the Master Duel thing specifically, is that they hit a lot of the natural counter cards to Tier Element. Like, obviously they've nerfed Tier Element to some degree, but then like Barrier Statue and most of Flunder is just torn apart.
I was playing against Bird Up and they summoned the 3-pointy bird that summons from deck, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Barrier Statue here. And then I realized, oh no I'm not. Oh, I've won. Cool, thank you. Yeah. Also, yeah, that timer in that deck as well is fucked. The 5-minute timer, like, again, like last night, something that triggered me off on this rant was I played through triple Zeus, and it didn't fucking matter because I just ran out of time. Today I played through 6 negates on a Herald of Perfection. Just didn't matter because I run out of time. And I was just like, this is just bullshit. Like, my opponent takes a good fucking while to set up his combo, and I'd actually be curious as to how much time he had left to actually complete his multi-negates before I ran out of time in my battle phase. It's just not fun. It's just not fun.
Should changing phases add a few seconds?
I think declaring attacks in the battle phase should add at least 20 seconds.
Yeah, because you're doing
Because
something.
you're actively either ending the game
Yeah.
or you're committing to, my turn has ended at this point, I'm going to do the damage that I have and pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're probably not too far away from another Master Duel survey, so you can make some notes and go on a rant in the survey, and hopefully they'll address some problems for you.
Hayato El Kanami isn't going to listen to me.
It just sucks because there's other people that will just stall out the clock and see who quits and gets mad. And so we have to be wary of that. But if you're actively playing cards and you're only taking about 30 seconds tops to think, you shouldn't be punished.
The 2 seconds that it adds on per action is not long enough.
No.
No.
Maybe 5. Especially when they take it away to activate. Yeah. Mad. Master Duel, poo.
And like, I get it because there were like those degenerate decks that were like, I have a 10-minute timer, my deck's just gonna combo for 10 minutes and see if you quit.
Yeah.
But like, even when I was playing FTK, like, the FTK took me 2.5 minutes to resolve. Like, not that 2.5 minutes, maybe even longer than I would normally take. It did not take very long to resolve that combo. I was like, done.
Maybe this is the other reason you don't like T. You've played FTK in Master Duel for so long, you're not used to like having to interact with an opponent.
Yeah, probably true. I don't want to sit on my phone and be there for 20 minutes
You just
playing one game.
You just want to play solitaire.
Yeah, I just want to open it up, be like, that didn't work, quit. And that's what I've devolved to in Element, where I just open my phone, see my hand, see what the first card my opponent plays, quit. Like, my opponent sets 5 back row, and my hand's shit. I'll play one card, if a floodgate flips, quit. I'm not gonna sit there and look at it. Not worth my time.
Fair enough. But yeah, feel free to let us know your thoughts on what Master Duel is doing at the moment in our general section of our Discord, which you'll find the link for below. But we'll get
video
on to
discussion.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
weird hanger off tab, which just appeared.
Yeah. Look,
Did you make that?
I didn't. I had
you
nothing
make
to
it?
do with the Discord.
Nope.
Did I make it?
No, I don't think I have authorization in the Discord. That involved me actually actively going to the Discord though.
Yes.
I'm joking, I go to the Discord from time to time.
Only when someone tags you.
Pretty much, yep. Exclusively. I only open it when I'm tagged. And half the time, I'll get tagged, I'll respond, and then because I'm not tagged in the response, just don't respond.
Yeah, never see it again. As previously mentioned, there has been a big change in Master Duel. Obviously, Two Elements is tearing it up. We have a new duel pass. In total, it's 700 to buy. You get your 700 back if you buy into it, but you also get a bunch of the tokens and stuff. The actual assets you get, I guess you could call them, at level 50 you get Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, so that's Synchro Dante, I believe.
That's Fusion Dante.
Was it Fusion Dante?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dante.
How far this podcast has come. Oh, never mind. We're back to it.
I can see
I
it
was
not
avoiding
like,
it so hard, and then
no.
Ben's like, "No, I'm gonna say it." Level 25, you get a red sort of computery looking icon frame. Looks cool. You also at level 50 get a Arctic radiation monster art background. No one cares about that. But more importantly, at level 75,
Why would they ever produce that?
Man.
honestly don't know.
Who in the world was like, you know what? I really like Arctics.
Why didn't they just make him good?
I want to join the subreddit for Arctics and just be like, why are any of you here?
Let's go with Arctic Jewels to say.
You just keep posting suggestions for other pages they can join. But more importantly, at level 75, we obtained a new mate, Gunkan Ship Ikuro mate.
Said that wrong.
Seb's got a mouthful of chicken, so he can't cheer.
How do you pronounce it, Ben?
Just not that way.
If you're taking Japanese, tell me.
No. You don't deserve it.
Got him.
Wow.
I put in all this effort just for you to butcher the language that I haven't learned yet.
What effort? If you're not going to exhibit it, shut the fuck up. So, what else has changed in Master
There's
Duel?
no Arctic Jewels.
So desu
Dame.
Dame.
Dame Edna.
But also, having changed in Master Duel, we have...
I just want to point out, Frank said Arctic Duelist doesn't exist.
No, of course it doesn't. So you don't
I
need to
found
ask them why they're there. 'cause
It's because it's got the
Oh,
OCG
Bertie.
name. Yeah, slash.
Bear tick.
There's multiple to choose from. None of them have above 400 members.
Understandable.
It's
And it's
still
probably...
impressive that there's...
No, because you're assuming that there's like 400 different people in each one.
Oh, yeah,
Imagine
true,
if they're
it's
all just
probably
the
the
same
same.
400 in the same 7 groups.
That's probably true.
And no one's worked out. Wait, why are we all...
And the most relevant post is screen caps of the
newer support.
of the newer support and asking, "Is this good?" First answer, no. 6 comments.
What do you mean it's not good?
It's
For
fun
that deck,
because
it's amazing.
true.
For the new deck, it cheats out a synchro that has like the special summon restriction. As if that's not broken.
Also, shout out to
Fuck
the
those
group for
idiots.
for being public and not having ants like admin approval on. Just let people in. Who gives a shit? That's
I don't think they have the right to try and gatekeep anything in the Earth's Arctic community.
There's so many shit deck groups that I've tried to join that
We
are
must
private.
keep
It's like, name the boss monster. I'm like, no.
I refuse. Anyway, so back to Master Duel. So they've added in the ability to craft some more band cards, so we can do Agapane, LP, Ib, Justiceer, the Synchro 5, Nightmare Goblin, and Nightmare Mermaid. I think after they did the World Legacy story mode, I think more people were like, hey, why can't we have these?
Yeah.
I'm impressed that they didn't just give you the deck unlockable that had the banned ones in it.
Well, when I was doing the solo mode and like you picked the deck, like the themed deck, I assumed that I would have access to those. The CPU did. You as a player did not. It was just so annoying. But more importantly, and I'm sure you're excited about it, the Madolche field has been added, finally.
So-
we knew about this asset for a long time.
This specific field has highlighted my issue with fields in Master Duel. Your opponent gets to see all the good shit. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I bought it and I was like, yay! And then I started using it and I was like,
Oh, because the house is on the...
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the gingerbread house is
The-
on the opponent's field. So
the chateau.
The chateau.
The chateau.
But yeah, it's on the other field, and I'm like, oh. And I haven't played against anyone that uses it yet. And I'm like, what are you people doing? Stop using
Stop
the
using
gold
the ghost
field,
trick
you
fields.
fucks.
What's with the pink walls? Like, I thought those were in that style.
They're made out of marzipan. I don't know what they're made of.
But, yeah, it's kind of weird that the walls are so weird. And it looks... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like it.
I like it.
I like the idea.
If you tap the corner, birds fly out.
Yeah, I was expecting something
Like,
Edible?
just
Better?
like actual birds.
Edible. You're expecting something edible.
You can
Better.
eat- You can eat birds if you want.
You can eat birds.
But-
In fact, Seb's in the corner of the room eating birds right now.
Like, there's like actual birds. Like...
Yeah, like
or
two little doves. They fly out of the chapel,
Like,
which is
not
there on the...
cakes, not
No,
anything relevant.
Two white doves fly out of the chapel. They do rings around the middle of the stadium, and then they fly back.
Yes.
Doves or pigeons?
Doves. They're the same. But we also get a background of Averna Silver that no one cares about. We get a Easter frame, in case anyone because this came out after Easter, so I don't know why they've integrated this now. Why not just save the asset till next year and actually integrate it in time?
Remember last week?
I don't really like it either.
So do we.
You get Melfi staring contest, so you get Melfi Rabby like super up close as an icon you can have. It's kind of cute.
That'd be cool.
You get a Verna Sylph and a Terrellman card sleeve. Some other cards that I don't care about.
Oh, did you guys keep your Vernasil cards from the Crack
No, I
and Tears?
scrapped most of them.
It felt bad though, because I'm like, these will come up one day.
I scrapped the ones that you don't play.
But you might play them
And
later.
also, the one day is the day that they add the super heavy support. Then it'll
You can
probably
play them
come
in
up.
Madolche.
Yeah, but no. I refuse. Yeah. See, my was a bit wild at the moment. But moving on to the card game. Sorry, I have so many tabs open.
You also have very low battery life.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you need a charger?
It should be fine. Might be an issue when we get to questions, but we'll get to that. So a little while ago, I mentioned that the OCG had hinted to the next structure deck that was coming out being the Red Dragon Archfiend support. So we have the first 3 new cards that have been announced from this.
I thought at first that looked like Duel Links Dragon. I was like, what? Because I had like the red flares coming up into the corner.
I mean, it is one of those dragons. Red Dragon Archfiend is one of the Synchro dragons.
Yeah.
Which is what-
Duel Links Dragon.
Yeah, but that's what that's based off.
A
Oh.
Crimson Dragon.
But they weren't in Duel Links.
Correct. None of this is in Duel Links.
I actually think it is in Duel Links now.
Hmm?
No, at one point it was in Duel Links. Why do they call it Duel Links Dragon?
Because it's Link, it's a duel, and it's a dragon.
I thought it was a number monster. Where am I going with this?
Where are you going with this? Moving
Doesn't it
right
have
to
a
the
number
fuck
on its
along.
eye?
No, because numbers were the Xyz, and that
Someone's-
was the Synchro universe.
Someone send me a Duel Links Dragon so I can check it out.
Anyway, so we get a new Synchro. It calls itself Red Dragon Archfiend, so yet another reason not to play the original. Yeah, if it's sent to the graveyard to summon a Dark Synchro specifically, it can just blow up all attack position monsters your opponent controls. It also special summons the original from the extra deck if it's used for, if it's sent from the monster zone to the graveyard.
Yeah.
So you cheat out one,
Yeah.
and you get to blow up the board,
Yeah.
assuming that you're doing the in-deck strategy.
So,
pretty
So it's kind of good. They get a new Resonator, which adds a level 4 from the deck, and then you're locked into Dark Synchros. Oh dear, whatever will you do? And then it is protection for Synchros and Red Dragon Archfiend monsters in grave. It's like Balinks.
Okay. So does it activate?
No, just goes.
Whoop. Okay.
And then a new fiend called Bone Archfiend, but it also is called Skull Resonator in some artworks that I've seen. So if it's a Resonator, it'll be searchable. Although I think Archfiends are searchable as well with something.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, when they released these, they didn't change the name on the card arts when they released them, and I was like, these two cards have the same name.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one is can special itself from grave by discarding stuff, and it can modify levels as well, which makes the synchroing a little bit easier. So yeah, that's just the start of what we have at the moment. Would be cool to see what else is coming. Have they got a release date on this little thing? No.
It's the 12th of May.
I really like how Bone Archfiend looks.
Well,
The fact that your face is serious means you're absolutely lying. Yeah, so I'm looking kind of forward to that. Probably more in Brag's line of things. We have an updated event-only ban list for Speed Duels.
I love the event-only ban lists. Comes out in
implying
June, by
that-
the way.
oh, okay.
In the OCG.
Yeah.
We will probably get it in a side set.
Yeah.
No. We'll get the structure deck.
This one, yeah, because they've already cut one, haven't they? So we're
Yeah,
free. We're free.
we get the mid-year structure deck. We don't get the end-of-year structure deck.
What structure deck did they cut?
I mean, so OCG gets 3 a year, we get 2 a year, and they'll cut one, and they've already cut one, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. The one that
But what
the
is
stuff we got in Maze of Memory was a start deck for them.
Yeah. So and that was last year's start, the end of last
Yeah.
year. So we'll get.
Which I think was the Gate Guardian
That's where we do this all
stuff.
stuff.
I think that
Gate
was
Guardian
a
is TCG exclusive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Something in Maze of Memory was a starter deck. I don't know. Normally, that's the way it works for us.
I can't even think what else is in there.
Unless they've delayed whatever we're not getting in a starter deck.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, so some cards that are going to be changing in Speed Duels for tournaments that apparently are run somewhere. You've got going to one similar structure to Duel Links. It's like one of the one odds,
ones.
two of the two odds. Yeah, so
Offerings.
yeah, offerings to the Doom.
Good card.
To 2, we have Golden Ladybug. Fuck knows why they would need to semi-limit Golden Ladybug
Only
of all fucking
stalled for
things.
time.
Someone's running Stairway to Heaven in fucking
Yep.
Speed Duels.
Yep.
Volcanic Shell. See? Burn and heal. They're limiting those.
I got Volcanic looped in Master Duel today.
Sorry?
So my opponent set up 2. So it was Terelement. Fucking.
Volcanic.
It was Terelement, Volcanic, Aluba, branded.
Oh, branded as well. What the fuck?
So all they were doing was making Bony Dragons,
Yep.
and then did a loop with with Volcanics.
Yeah, shit.
And
Okay.
just, eventually, you can't actually activate anything to stop them. Because you just you get burned a couple times, and then if you don't at that exact point have a negation to stop everything, you're done. Goodbye.
Nightmare Wheel also limited.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't have Nightmare Wheel on my thing.
Huh. I could swear, yeah, because I was looking at it and went, oh, that's rough. Because, yeah, that control deck.
Oh,
Yes.
mine says it was already on the list. It's
Oh.
not new, it's not newly on the list.
Yeah, so adding offerings to that, just, yeah. Buy the next pack, basically, to get your replacement control cards.
Play my new toys. To 3, we have the skill I'm just going to attack for Joey Wheeler. Twisted Personality for Yami.
So I'm just going to attack.
Oh,
let you
Yami
attack
Marek,
whenever
sorry.
you want.
Yeah, so Marek, and also I'm pretty sure they errata Twisted Personality as well, didn't they?
Possibly, it doesn't say so here. Cyber Angel Ben
pretty
10,
serious.
also at 3. Ben 10 just gets fucked over in every version of the game. Machine Angel Ritual, also limited to 3. And then Wall of Disruption.
Yeah, I didn't see many lists still with Wall of Disruption, but I mean, I'm not fully across them when I do play it super casual, but I didn't think that's like Duel Links.
We're Mirror Wall.
Yeah,
card costs so much to maintain.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
was actually
especially
really...
with 4K. It's like you can only play for one turn.
Yeah.
Just give us Mirror Wall back.
I like Mirror Wall.
The original Super Mirror Wall always looks so
Oh,
beautiful.
it looks so
It
nice.
looks so good.
It looks so good.
Like Mirror Force.
One of the first cards I was like, I'm gonna take care of this. Lost immediately.
See, but if you're not handling and shuffling it, it means it's going to be like on a shelf behind some stuff where it'll stay in its nice condition.
Because like I didn't have sleeves, I was like, I'm gonna take care of this card, and then just never saw it again.
Putting the skill cards into the to 3 like list as well. So like that's interesting because it means
Yeah.
you're going to get to it. That means there's a semi-limit on the rest.
Yeah, if you want to run the skill, it means
I'm just
your
gonna
main
attack.
deck's going to be...
I'm just going to attack and just random pile was definitely around. So now you lose cards from your pile.
Yeah.
Or you just don't play it because it wasn't that good anyway. It was good, but
What do you mean? I thought the battle phase was amazing.
I like the battle phase, not the game.
Are we still recording, sir?
Yeah.
Cool.
I love these periodic check-ins. Technology still working? Fantastic. So, moving on to the proper game, we have some cards that are coming. There's quite a few of these. So, one of them that was announced for Duelist Nexus is a sort of retrain of fusion deployment, instead called Fusion Reinforcement. Similar sort of thing, reveal a fusion, but you summon the mentioned material either from your graveyard or your extra deck.
Oh, I thought it said all deck.
No, it says extra deck.
Oh, I thought this was like Prisma. Like I thought this was spell card Prisma originally. Oh, from extra deck.
Yeah, it's negated until the end of your opponent's turn, and it can't attack. Oh, hang on. Yeah, until the end of your opponent's turn, it can't attack, and its effects are negated.
This is hero support.
Yeah, but
According to the card art, it's actually Flame Swordsman support. So.
Oh yeah, shit. I forgot about that.
wait, what lists Flame Swordsman as a material?
I'm just saying it has
Um,
Flame Swordsman
Crimson
on the artwork.
Knight.
Oh, it's got Mirage Knight in the background too.
That one.
That's sick.
There we go.
Mirage Knight support. I would actually be so keen
I only
for
ever owned the
proper
fake.
Mirage Knight support. I
Down for the
love the
trial, so
artwork of that
I've never
card.
owned a fake.
Yeah, I only ever owned the fake.
Brandon play it.
Yeah, Brandon can play it. Just lets you summon another Albaz from the bin if you happen to have one in there. It's not amazing for them, to be honest.
No, it's not. Terrible.
We have a big announcement of cards from the Animation Chronicle as well. The link that I've opened is annoyingly separate, so I'm just going to open them up. So the first one that we get is 2 more dinosaur monsters. You may or may not be keen for these.
Gasp.
So one of them is if your opponent controls 2 face-up monsters, or 2 or more non-wind face-up monsters, they can't attack, or can't target that card for attacks. To be honest, this
Terrible.
this card's kind of shit. If it becomes banished, you can special summon it, and then you add a
What's it meant to
polymerization from
be
the grave
from the
to your
anime?
hand.
What was it meant to be from the anime?
I think it's a Rex Raptor card. No, sorry, hang on. No, I think it mentions it somewhere.
Ooh.
Judging by the
Rex Raptor.
Yeah, I was
Rex
gonna say
Raptor.
judging by that picture, yeah, it's a
Moving right along.
Jake's making fun of my speech impediment.
You don't have a fucking speech impediment.
No.
I'm trying to lift him up. There's nothing wrong with you, Ben. Except it does also come with a fusion specific to it. So it uses that one I was just talking about, plus 1 dinosaur or dragon monster. If it's fusion summoned, place a field spell from your deck to the graveyard face up in your field zone. It can attack directly the turn the special summoned. And then you can activate its effect to normal summon another dinosaur or dragon.
No.
Yeah, it's not great. And look, it's anime support, so
If that was just a fusion that required 2 dinos, that'd be great.
yeah,
it's
needing a
not.
specific one. But also, it says if it's banished, it special summons itself and then it can add a poly. So it kind of fuses itself for free.
I'm not gonna worry. I was gonna try and inquire on whether or not something else worked, but don't worry.
It's okay.
It's not worth brain power.
Oh, why is it brought up this?
The comment section?
No, shut up. I went to press the link for the like more
Jake broke his internet.
my internet.
You broke your internet.
Anyway, another one we have is the longer-awaited fusion that was going to be played but never revealed in the anime, Coreless Chaos King of Dark World, or colorless, I should say. Needs rainbow and 2 or more fiend monsters. If it's fusion summoned, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls.
So you can only fusion summon it on a rainy day when it's just stopped raining?
Yes.
I will fuse it with the rainbow outside. And my 2 fiend monsters.
Law confirmed. Leprechauns are fiends.
Wait, isn't this
Yes.
just another Dark World that we summon with King of the Swamp?
Yes. King of the Swamp is also a rainbow.
King of the Swamp is everybody. This card's original attack and defense becomes the number of fusion materials used for its summon times 1,000, because it is a question mark. And then once per turn, quick effect, target one face-up card you control, discard 1 card, and if you do, your opponent cannot target that card with a card effects this turn.
Okay.
It's quite good, and considering that the fusion spell for Dark World is a quick play, you just let your opponent set up a little bit, and then go, haha, all gone.
Okay. Sure. I'll pay it.
It's good. It's
Use
good
the
support.
rainbow.
I like it.
Taste the rainbow.
We also have some support that is related to Yusei. He gets an alternate art of, I can't remember what that one's called.
Junk Warrior.
Yeah, Junk Warrior. Some reprints that obviously don't matter to us.
Yeah, Junk Warrior 2. There's an apology for them banning Jet Synchron.
And apparently there's a unprinted synchro that we're also getting. Combat Wheel. First time will be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. It's not. Once per battle phase, discard a card. It gains attack equal to the total attack of other face-up monsters you currently control. Then it gets a counter. If this card with a counter is destroyed by battle, destroy all monsters you control.
Okay.
Just sounds like a battle phase, like that guy,
Shit.
you're dead. Yeah, a little bit. And look, that's kind of the theme of most of these. The call colorless is seemingly the best one so far.
It's really bad.
Yeah, a little bit. And then these really weird things, it's like they need specific monsters on the board. It's like Crystal Skull, Ashoka Pillar, and Cabrera Stone. Destroy all cards on the field. This turn, your opponent will take any effect damage you will take instead. Banish this card from your graveyard. Target those same 3 monsters in the graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck and then draw 3 cards. It's a little bit weird. I
was
don't
hoping
really
it would
understand it.
you'd take 4,000 damage or something for doing that.
Well, I think one of them's like burn yourself for 2,000 and then search a card.
Yeah.
So I think the idea is like you do that, your opponent takes the 2,000 that you would have taken, and then you get to search.
Okay.
Sure. And then Playmaker sort of trash cards. One of them's like banish all monsters you control, draw 3 cards, and then you're locked into Cyburst for the rest of the turn.
That's not that bad if you control 1 monster.
Minimum 2.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, not great. They did have one particularly interesting card called Code Hack. Yes. On the board, its effect is kind of shit. Hang on, I'm thinking of the wrong one. No, transaction rollback is what I was thinking of. Pays half your life points on board and then targets a normal trap in your opponent's graveyard and copies its effects. But in the graveyard, banish it and pay half. Then target a normal trap in your graveyard, except it's another copy of itself, and then its effect becomes that effect.
That seems really shit.
In certain decks, I could see it being pretty decent. Like
It
if you did that,
requires you to target another trap card.
yeah. But if you're doing that in a trap deck, like if you're playing Labyrinth, say, and you have this in your graveyard,
Okay, so you're paying, does it say half your life points or 4,000 life points?
half.
In every situation you just said, Solemn Judgment is better.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying you could do it
Why would you not rather just set Solemn Judgment?
because Solemn is cringe.
Back for a second on the treasures, the Crystal Skull support.
Yup.
The pillar.
Yup.
The original translation of the pillar didn't say once a turn. I got Hell Height because it adds a quick spell from deck to hand.
That shit's gonna be once per turn, yeah.
You got too keen for Makanko, you...
Yeah, because you could bounce, and if it was a special, then you just summon again. And off you go. But as soon as it's once a turn, I'm like, oh no, pillar. Yeah. I
Are
also
you
liked-
sure it never said once a turn, or did you just skip the bit where like they have them in the
Nah,
OCG translations where it's like right up the top?
This was on a pretty dodgy Facebook page.
Ah.
So
Feels-
I'm not
source of all the
I'm
best
not going
news.
this translation wrong.
You're not
because-
the remnants of Italian white
Yeah.
It's the second time today you've brought up.
Also-
Yeah.
I'm
Did
so
you just
keen on that.
skip over the fact that
I'm
there's
just-
support for...
I'm just having a look at each one of
I
these.
like as well because the
What's
card
the
has.
ahead?
Oh, if this is destroyed by opponent's card by battle card effect,
Yep.
you take 2,000. Like this won't be seen the light of day. It would have already been used as link material. But no, not
But
anymore.
but if you do it properly, it does the Uno reverse. So
So, are we gonna use the segue that I used 10 minutes ago to get us to the volcanic support? Or...
Speaking of volcanic support, there's volcanic support. I don't know well enough what it does. I've read over it
Yeah.
before. It's just sort of, it makes it consistent, but doesn't make it amazing.
It exists. Therefore, people can stop complaining.
Yeah, and let's never speak of volcanics again unless if it's in end time scenario.
Why have they never banned volcanic shell?
Because burning for life points is funny.
Uh,
But back to Duelist Nexus, we have a new removal spell. It's kind of situational, but I kind of like it. So its name is Corrupted Gem of Rebellion Snake Eye. So the
Catchy.
name's sick. You can only activate this once per turn. Target a face-up monster on the field. Place it in its owner's spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell.
In the same column?
Doesn't say so in this translation.
Yeah, but because the people were talking like this just bounces to the back column.
you can choose.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I was
that's
going to
fine.
say, it doesn't say anything about not being able to put it in the same one. It also doesn't say specifically that you can't put it where something already is. Like, I'm sure there's probably precedent to say that you can't just put it somewhere where something already exists. Mainly
Yeah, you
the
definitely
mechanics of the game.
It's gonna say unused when we get it.
Yeah, more than likely. But if it didn't, imagine being able to remove a monster and a back row
Kaiju
within
your
one fell
opponent's
swoop.
floodgates with their
Yeah,
own
you've effectively
monsters.
kaiju'd their back row. Like, I love the idea of being able to do that. It won't do that.
No.
Not at all.
You can kaiju then move it to a pendulum zone.
You're just doubling up, though. You don't need to do that. If you just do the spell and trap thing, you just move the monster there.
But it's your opponent's monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to kaiju them first.
No. Why?
You won't be able to destroy whatever with that, right? Or is it target?
Yeah, targets.
Yeah, there we go.
Give your opponent Silent Wobby. Put Silent
Yeah,
Wobby
yeah,
into
that's
their
it.
pendulum zone. Pendulum player cannot play.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Another card that just fucks over Pendulum because you just go, eh.
The issue is it's a spell card, not a trap card. This is one of the few cards. If this was a quick play spell card, insane.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Because-
broken.
Your opponent just normal summons a pendulum because they want to go their pendulum way to get to the pointy one that you actually need to actually start playing, and then you just go, that's in your pen zone now.
If you
That'd
move
be
a
insane.
Pokemon, if you move a monster with pen scales to the zone,
Yeah.
I believe it would
it's a
become
spell.
a pen. Yeah, because it becomes a spell trap card. when
It
it's
becomes
in
a
your zone.
continuous spell.
Good point. I don't know.
yeah, that's weird. Because I mean, it's there as a spell.
Imagine the frustration you could cause to a Pendulum player by putting their Pendulum monster in the Pendulum zone as a non-Pendulum. Pendulum.
It'd be fun.
Oh god, I'm actually really keen for that card now. Based purely on that interaction, I want to do it so bad.
It'd be a great ruling. Let's show rulings.
Moving on, we have some more stuff from the Duelist Nexus. A big beast, which is a little bit shit, adds, like, you have to normal summon it by tributing a beast. And then,
We can keep reading. No.
Yeah,
no,
next.
No.
This one's an interesting one. It's a fusion, needs a monster special summon from the extra deck and a monster in the hand. When it's summoned, actually no, it's just a trigger effect. So target a poly or fusion spell in the graveyard, place it on the bottom of the deck and then draw one. When another card effect is activated, you can banish a polymerization spell or fusion spell from your graveyard, then target one card in the field, destroy it.
So you can't super poly it.
It's not a super poly target,
Just
but it is
problem.
semi-generic.
Yeah.
Like, if
If it
you're
was
playing
a
this
super
kind
poly
of...
target, great card. Fantastic card. Super poly. They should have just
Oh.
printed it and said monster
That's-
from handle field.
That's interesting though. So
Yeah.
it's a light fiend fusion, which means that it is a target for
Branded
the
red.
theater. No, the theater of the branded,
Okay.
is when a Dark Fairy monster leaves the field, you can target a Light Fiend fusion monster and bring it back.
Okay, sure.
Just
You gonna play that card, Jake?
maybe. We
Oh,
don't know.
God.
We don't know what's going to happen to fucking Brandon moving forward.
I just lost a lot of respect when you said maybe.
Well, go fuck yourself. Anyway, we get a synchro that's a little bit sort of shit as well. Level 7 Pyro. It's been a long ass time since I've seen Pyro support. Yeah, no, it's not good. And then a rank 8 that gains spell counters. It has max 9 though, it gains a lot. But the issue is it gains spell counters for everything your opponent does.
Oh, what's it called?
Thelematic Kratos.
I thought I saw Mathmech. I was like, what?
When I saw it, that's what I thought I saw too. I was like, why is Mathmech getting counters? But no. Yeah, so that's all a little bit weird. I feel like you liked this card, Bragg. Egomorph. At the start of the damage step, if your opponent battles an opponent... Oh, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, either change the attack monster to defense position, return the attack monster to the hand, or destroy both monsters.
Yeah, it's just a cute control card that, if it was in Speed Duels, maybe it's coming in Speed Duels.
Maybe. Or
Oh,
Rush Duels.
I don't know if I saw this one before. Another sort of damage calc card, which is fantastic. When you take damage from an opponent's attack or by card effect, apply this effect based on the type of damage. If it's battle, special summon one monster from your graveyard with attack equal to or lower than the damage you took. And if you do, end the battle phase after the damage step. Effect, inflict twice that much damage to your opponent.
Huh.
So, it's shit.
Wait, and that's just a normal trap?
Yes.
Cowards, just make it a hand trap. Like, just do that,
Yes.
and just they
And
try
have
to
it
burn
spend
you in
itself.
time, and you like double.
I think there is a hand trap that does
There
similar
is,
to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Water.
There's the one. Yeah.
Stop the damage.
Runic also get a new level 9 fusion. And this one is Sleipnir the Runic Mane. So the artwork is based on Odin's, I think, 9-legged horse.
Think of any number of legs.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're all legs?
Not when they're on.
Anyway, so on summon, main phase or your opponent's battle phase, target a face of monster they control, banish it and this face-up card. And if your opponent adds a card or cards from the deck to the hand, you can special summon a Runic token.
Token.
Why?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I have my law wrong. It's 8 legs, so it is even pairs. And apparently it's
Damn, I thought it was a really hung horse.
unless it no. Stop. And it's the child of Loki.
Okay.
Huh.
So it's
Just some interesting tidbits.
Odin support?
So
Well, they have confirmed, or are confirming rather, in the next law book that they're releasing that Generator and Runic are connected.
But it's not connected to the Odin, Thor, Loki.
the Nordics.
No.
But the only good thing of that was the goats. Like all the main 6 suck.
The new support's actually really good. I don't know if you remember it.
It's shit.
It's good.
Did you lose to it at locals the other day?
It was at Locals the other day.
No.
I don't
That
like
proves my
Vanadis
point
as
even
well.
more.
How does it? There's so much random shit at our Locals. Are you kidding?
Vanadis should have been a better card. Fuck, that was so shit for that.
The
That was so close.
Loki,
That was-
Thor, and Odin should have been just nuts cards.
Yeah, and they were so close. Like, they had a good
Isn't
secret.
one of them decent?
No.
I feel like one of them's decent.
One of them was like one of them is better than the others.
They gave them a prize card as support, and it's still shit.
What prize card?
Ascension Sky Dragon is support for that deck.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're gonna make me read this.
He's actually going to check when I'm right. Where do you think the reprint for Ascension Sky Dragon was? It was in the structure deck for the Loki, Thodin, and Or.
Foden and Hor.
Thodin and Or.
You're really struggling today.
Speech impediment. Be careful. We'll see.
This is technically a workplace.
Shit.
I'm getting workers' comp.
Then I should technically be paid.
We have a monetization talk coming up eventually.
We're playing Clout. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Brian just made it 2 seconds ago.
No. But there is a... We're going to pay for this microphone.
We need a new microphone.
Too. But moving on, we have, without having received it yet, we have the announcement of the next OTS. And it's another one that Ben's not going to be happy about.
Yeah, because it's fucking ulti brain infusion in there.
Yeah, that's the only one we have announced so far, and I'm not even that keen for that. I don't like the artwork of Brain Infusion.
I don't like ulti in that. Fucking. Where are the good ultis that are generic? Where off there?
What you want? Where after
I would
ulti?
prefer where off there. The little puppy dog and ulti, that'd be fucking beautiful. Where off
ulti?
there would be a gorgeous ulti.
Have they done all the hand traps?
No,
No.
Ash Blossom still isn't an ulti.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, they should just do Ash.
they should do
The
all the
good
hand
art.
traps. That's now their reasoning. They're like, oh, we can't print it as an ulti. We just can't decide what art it's gonna be.
Yeah.
If they did the ulti in the feet, I would be so angry. I'd be so angry.
I
No.
wonder if it's like everyone needs to sign off on it, and there's just the one guy going feet up. They're like, all right, we move to brand infusion.
Bragg, answer this truthfully. Do
Yep.
you work for Konami?
God, I'd hate myself even more than I already do. Like, if I did,
He does. He's just in charge of the pachinko machines, not in charge of the card game.
He's like lobbying to be moved over to fucking Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'll just make ultis of both, and then start redoing. The
I would
ultis
rather
the other
them
way.
just print both ulti Ash arts in the same OTS pack.
ulti. Or
I
the
would
other?
applaud.
I'd hate it so much too, because they'll be like, oh, I see the text Ash Blossom and
No.
feet!
Feet
The
art actually worth more, so you can just get 2 regular arts for the one feet art.
Yeah, you're just gauging the feet lover community.
they should have
Just the surroundings of the feet are ulti.
ulti of the Ghost Bell altar. The second. That, 'cause that
Oh, where
art-
she's like more prominent with the sickle scythe.
No, isn't she looking out the window?
Ghost spell.
Ghost
Oh, Ghost Bell.
I prefer
No, I
regular
prefer the
Ghost
original.
Bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the
I
window
like-
Ghost
I
Bell.
hate
the
all
ones
those
too.
alt arts. I can't stand them. Anyway,
I think I'd prefer the Droll one. Not that it's a Ghost Bell,
No,
but
I don't like that troll.
I like that Droll, just not in gold. Looks
yeah,
wrong in
gold
gold.
shit.
Yeah.
But the original art's nice. It's a nice art.
Hmm.
John Lockbird's got
Bell's just
good
a
art.
better. It's like an artwork. It's not
Bell's-
just a random monster.
Yeah.
That was the only one I prefer.
Yeah. Well, outside of the. But I like the more like the thing about the feet is the cherry blossom. Like
Timestamp felt this section.
I don't like the feet. It's the rest of the aesthetic. Instead of Ash just kind of floating and going.
Look at my forehead.
She's just like sitting, chilling in the,
Is
in the
there-
cherry blossoms.
I'm sure there's cherry blossoms prominent within
Oh
the
no, yeah, she's
original
it's
art.
there, but like it didn't really pop in any of the arts. I mean, not that we've seen the ulti either. There's definitely cherry blossoms in both. I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but look at the fucking the J.J. Abrams fucking flare bullshit.
Lens flare.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the reason why there's no ulti, because they can't decide on what is ulti.
yeah, just the lens flare is the whole
That
and
could-
everything
that
else is
could
normal.
legitimately be it, yeah.
But they've done it in the OCG, right? So we'd be able to see what they've done.
Yeah, true. Jace just immediately disproved every point that Konami's ever had as to why they can't do this.
Just let us play.
They didn't have the
cards.
feet ulti though before they printed the Ash ulti.
Starlight, starlight, starlight.
Actually, I wonder if they've done a feet ulti of Ash in the OCG.
25th anniversary starlight, right?
That's not an ulti though.
Nah, but still, I'd take that. It was 25th
Oh,
anniversary.
you're like saying, okay, yeah, no, that'd be sick actually.
Transition, segue to our last bit of news.
Yes.
Mystic Potatoes, Mystic Potato. Spoilers, it's Mystic Potato, does exactly what you think it's going to do. Last bit of news, in that case. 25th anniversary Starlight's got announced. Thoughts on how they look?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got sort of shown a few of them at the 250th YCS.
That's exactly what I expected.
Told you. That's
In fairness, that's a terrible photo.
That is a pretty shit photo, but anyway. Yeah, so they announced Starlight 25th anniversaries. They just Starlight Rares.
They're a little different. Well, they've got the...
The
they've
25th
got-
stamp?
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like the colour's slightly different as well in the name.
They're platinums. This is gonna be the point when people that are like, Starlight Rares is the best, go, Starlight Rares are just platinums.
Wow.
This is gonna be the turning point. This is it. Right here, right now, this point in history.
Oh, speaking of the 25th or the quarter century rares,
They're double reprinting the red eyes. Don't even notice that. They're double reprinting that red eyes art.
Anyway, so in the tins for this year, which appear not to be tins but rather a box.
That's fine. They'll save on production costs and increase the price.
Oh, it's a box, not a tin.
They already have the
Purely
MSRP.
based on that,
the
like that
MSRP
looks
is
very
higher.
much like a box.
Oh, no, that's the same. That's the same shape as the last year.
The same shape, but like that coloration on a tin. Be very odd.
We've just been so used to the gold ones. They used to do coloured tins.
My brain's shooting in like 50 different directions here. When does the Yu-Gi-Oh reprint single packs?
Very soon.
They're
Like,
doing
it's like next
pre-releases
week.
for them, so it's due
Starting
very
next month.
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, like we're soon.
I need to buy those.
You do,
I need to buy a few.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Not a
crack
lot.
some Ferris.
A few.
Although I will say, when I was looking at Chaotic Factory
Oh,
the other
the-
day, the
The singles don't
single
come out till July. Just the box sets coming out next week.
Oh.
Yeah, the singles until July. Jake, you were saying?
yes, as I've been trying to say for a little while
Oh,
now.
I thought you were going to say another thing based on Chaotic.
No, I've
Okay.
decided I don't want to say that anymore. So, for the quarter century rares that they've confirmed so far for the tin, we have Dark Magician, Exodia the
Another
Forbidden
Dark
One. So, I'm assuming it says Exodia the Forbidden One, but I'm assuming
It's just the head.
just the head.
It's just the head.
That's dumb. They
Yep.
should do the whole thing. Red Eyes, Black Dragon,
Another.
Rainbow Dragon, Cyber Dragon, Elemental Hero Neos, Firewall Dragon, and then for reasons I do not understand and kind of hate, Salamand Great Blaze Dragon. That card
That's really
has
dumb.
never seen play.
Yes,
Like
that's really
it's Gazelle every day. You can make an argument for some of the other
I was
ones.
gonna say something like
Do
that.
not care. It is Gazelle.
dumb.
Gazelle is the heart and soul of that deck.
I'm assuming in the anime, the final thing he uses to attack in his final duel is a Blaze Falcon.
It's not.
What?
Anyway,
It's Pyro Phoenix.
yeah, so no Gizno?
Oh, jeez, no.
No Gizno.
No Gizno.
No
Thousand
Gizno.
Eyes.
There's so many missed opportunities here. They shouldn't have printed Red Eyes. They should have printed Gizno instead. They didn't need to put Dark Magician in here.
Red Eyes is a more prominent Joey monster than
They're
Gizmo.
already doing it.
Like,
It's the same art is coming out in the box set in 2 weeks. They're already doing it.
yeah.
Just print Gizno.
It's just so weird that they just go back to the anime instead of going, isn't it? It's 25 years of the game. Not the anime. The game. Let's celebrate the game. And I know that doesn't sell as many tins.
But they are celebrating the game. The king of games.
Is he really the king of games, though?
No,
All he
was.
wins is
He
two
lost.
different sort of games, doesn't he? And he loses from time to time.
I want Dungeon Dice Monsters. Reprint Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Oh, what had a fold out box? One of the Mario, the Mario little blisters you can crack and try and get each of them like a Zing and EB and stuff. They fold out like the dice do. You know that. I'm like, hold on.
Dungeon Dice Mario?
Yeah, you can set them up to be that. Yeah, give us Dungeon Dice Monsters. 25 years of Dungeon Dice Monsters coming in 20.
We're not that far off 25 years of Dungeon
Yeah.
Dice Monsters. Yeah.
5 years of Capital Coliseum. I want to hatch my fucking
Hatch my egg.
say Pokemon. Yeah,
Always
hatch
respect
my
you
egg.
both.
Hatch my
by the way.
cockroach giant for finishing it.
Yeah, you don't get enough credit for doing the capsules.
Beating that game.
That was a good run.
I still enjoy that game.
Yeah.
I'd go back and like try and grind out all the fusions, but Ben would not want that.
No, not doing that. Not doing that at all.
Ben has
Done with
zero
that.
interest in that.
If anything, I just stream Dungeon Dice Monsters.
It's so low res though. I remember, I think it was Loza was streaming it a while ago, and I couldn't physically look at it. It looked so bad.
I have it on Game Boy. I could just play it anytime I want.
Anyway,
Hopefully they bring it to Switch Game Boy.
Ooh.
Switch Game Boy
Game Boy Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Hear me, Mr. Nintendo.
We need Dungeon Dice Monsters on the Game
Mr.
Boy.
Christian J Nintendo.
Yeah, I know that
Yes.
I know that you haven't put the Pokemon games on there for whatever reason, but can you give us Dungeon Dice Monsters?
I still get in my YouTube recommended fucking Pokemon YouTubers being like, the Pokemon Game Boy games are coming to Switch. And it's like 3 months ago. I'm like, no, it's not.
Stadium's soon.
Yeah, real soon.
We also just have an N64 sitting right there with Pokemon Stadium on it.
Which also has lens flare problem.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
So you can't be overexposed, right?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too bright.
Yeah, JJ. JJ Abrams watches the podcast. Fuck you for ruining Star Wars.
The lens flares weren't that prominent in that Star Wars movie, except when they fired the laser, which makes sense. There was a practical source for it. Star Trek, he fucked in the middle of space. Shaky camera just lens flares them like they're in a cockpit of a spaceship in the middle of nowhere.
But there's no ozone to filter the lights.
Cinematography aside, we move to our Discord, and the message for link is in the description below.
2-hour rant podcast.
Every time we've stopped for a subject, there's been some rant, and I feel like you've instigated most of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah,
Hey.
I need pink chicken.
I said most. I said most. You get credit.
As long as my rants are credited.
Yes.
Yeah, please check down below for the credits of this week's rants. Yes, there is a link in the description below for our Discord. Feel free to jump in, say hi, and ask us questions. Our first question this week comes to us from Matthew Mack. What are your ideas for new hand traps?
The one that we mentioned earlier, where if you get burned for damage, you discard it, and then it pings your opponent for twice as much.
I just want them more like Imperm, where they're actual traps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it would be cool if we had a few more traps that activated from hand. I would kind of rate the idea of having spells that are activated off turn, like assuming that you had nothing.
Spells are good enough already. Let's not do that.
Like a quick play, like if you had like that on a specific quick play spell, sure. But
There's my
Yeah.
one that I've always said we need, and it's a hand trap that activates at chain link 5 or higher and negates everything else on the chain. I've mentioned this all the time whenever this comes up. That's what should exist.
You want that as a hand trap?
Who's ringing the phone? The phone doesn't do anything.
It could be Logan, forgetting that he was here 2 days ago and the
Yeah,
lift
right.
didn't work.
Yeah. Welcome to
Is it?
the Cowboy apartment where the phone does nothing.
The door is open.
The door is open, the elevator doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. The door is open.
Yeah. We move. Continue.
Yes.
That's the hand trap that should exist. Chain link 5 or higher, discard it, negates everything else in the chain.
As a hand trap, I feel like it's just not going to come up.
The door is open. The elevator doesn't
You
work.
cause your own issue. Inter-element would come up all the time.
Yeah, and that format's dead.
Just use your own shuffler and then negate it.
what's the chain link? What accumulator fortunes just draw heaps? Yeah.
Yes. I think it's a draw.
Yeah, it is super. It's like it's so super weird they never did that.
Yeah, there's also a counter for chain burn. If it ever comes up, you just go. Whoop.
I would kind of like the idea of like a Nibiru-esque hand trap, but for the other types of cards. Like if your opponent activated X amount of spells or X amount of traps in a turn, you can discard it and then
How'd
return.
you get up here so quickly?
Walk.
Up the stairs?
Yeah.
Did you
Were
did you
you
call
ringing the
anyone?
doorbell?
No, it's not.
Okay. Don't worry then.
That was stupid.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say something.
We're nearly done. So yeah, I'd like the idea of like a Nibiru-esque hand trap that interacted with spells. Like if they activated X amount of spells in a turn, then their turn ends.
It zone locks all spells.
Oh yeah. That's one way to get around it.
Yeah.
I
Special
bet-
summon to your opponent's field, block all their spells. Sky Striker comes back? No. Tribute all spells on the field, all spells and traps face up on the field. Then, shuffle them in the deck.
Are you designing a new hand trap?
Yeah.
I think like just like a removal spell in Magic, just like discard to destroy a creature. I reckon that could be cool.
Yeah, as an action
That's
trade.
Ghost Ogre and Snow
Yeah,
Rabbit.
that is just Ghost Ogre.
They have to activate, right?
Yeah.
And you have to-
Typically, most things need some on off turn. You can't just go.
So yeah, I don't mind that because that's discarding instead of waiting for resolution. So you can pop a couple. Like that adds something to the game that we just didn't have.
Yes.
Because like there's like maybe they summon out a little tuner that doesn't activate, you can pop it.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yes.
I rate that as a trap card.
Or something like Trap Eater that eats tuners. If a tuner is on the field, summon it. Eat the tuner.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Tuner
Token
eater.
collector, but tuner collector.
Yeah,
It should be like some.
You could.
just him with cans of tuna.
Yeah, hear me out, Konami. You could even make it a pun.
Tuna. I hardly know.
Oh god. It's like Josh never left. Next question comes to us from Jesse. If you were to design a pot card, what would you make it say? But here's the caveat: it must be playable in most decks, but not bannable. His example is at the start of your main phase 2, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, send 1 to graveyard, and put 1 at the bottom of the deck.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Being that it's main phase 2, it's obviously only workable within very limited phases of the thing.
I like that. I like the gimmick of 1 hand, 1 to grab, 1 to bottom. That's super cute. I really like that. Make it main phase 1. Treat yourself. But you can't do anything else after the pros thingy.
Yes.
There was a hand trap that activated a little while ago. Like, it's not a good one. It was like, if your opponent adds a card to hand, tribute a monster you control, they have to banish their hand, draw the same number of cards they had in their hand from the top of their deck, and then put the cards they banished back into the deck and shuffle. So it's kind of like reincarnation, but a little bit shit. I kind of want that for a pot card. It's like banish X number of cards from your hand, draw from the top of your deck, and then shuffle those same cards back in.
Pot of preparations. Draw 2 cards. Skip your next battle phase.
Sure.
You can restrict it on
Skip your
Runic
next
game
battle
mode.
phase.
Doesn't matter if you're comboing.
it. Yeah.
Runic.
Pot agreed.
Yeah, exactly. It already exists in Runic.
Isn't that just pot agreed?
So-
though?
Runic can just do this already.
Yeah.
And then you add that to access to every other deck.
Yeah.
Holy
But stop you just
shit.
making like 5 negates. And then just
Or-
have a
Once per turn.
Yeah, sure. Give it a once per turn. However, I don't think that that's Frost. I don't give a shit if you're playing combo. You're only going to put out so many negates, and your opponent's going to have 2 turns worth of counter.
Everyone's gonna think Bragg's like shocked by this comment. He's watching football.
Next question.
Next question is also from Jesse. How do you make your gems more efficient in Master Duel?
Don't spend them. Just
True.
there's no reason to. Just don't spend them, and then when Terelement
Just-
comes out, spend all of them.
Just buy one FTK deck, play one boring solitaire deck forever, and then never spend anything.
Yes.
Your favorite deck.
It's his favorite
It's
deck.
his. Keep up.
You know what? I'm impressed that Jake never has any gems. Like, you only also ever play like 3 decks.
No, Master Duel, he
I play
he
heaps of
fucks
different
around.
stuff.
Why?
Master Duel, he's cheeky.
Why? Because I like to change things up every so often.
Hear me out. Yeah, just don't spend your gems, and then every 3 months when a good deck comes out, spend your gems. Easy.
So yeah, not spending money on packs for the sake of spending money on packs is a big one.
I spent money pointlessly today just so that I could get stuff to break down. That was it.
Yeah, and so I'm sure that there's probably a Reddit thread or sub-thread about this, but there's definitely packs where you get better value, like you get shitter ultras,
Yeah.
but if you're doing it just for the sake of getting the crafting
This
points,
definitely exists.
yeah, because I have...
This is how I started when I started playing Master Duel.
Yeah, 100%. So there's 2 that I know of. There's the Armed Dragon pack,
Yep.
that's big on ultras but they're shit, and the Dark Lord pack.
Okay.
One of the ultras is Forbidden Droplet, so if you're chasing those, like, they're super common in that pack. And I pulled, I think, 7 in total. Like, they're crafted away now, but
Yeah.
I had 7 at a time. So that's one big one for me, is if you have a bunch of gems, you're not really wanting to like try and pool what you want, you just want to craft it. Go for those big value packs where you're getting shitter ultras, but you're just after the ultras to craft away.
Yes.
And yeah, just hoarding everything. I'm sure people do it on Master Duel as well, is that they go on they go on and they just like spend all their crafting points to rarity bump. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Terrible idea.
Yes, don't do that.
It's worth the punt. Sure.
Unless you're getting commons. Or
Yeah,
rares.
like your N's and R's and stuff, you can do it because you've got like thousands of those, and like realistically, you can pull those in a pack even if you're not going to craft them, but it costs you nothing. Like you're not that likely to get a royal rare because I'm pretty sure it's a scaling system as like what you're more common to get. Like if you're doing a lot of ultras, you're more likely to get the royal rares in there. Whereas if you're like just crafting away at the N rarities and R rarities, you're not probably going to get a royal, but you'll probably get a glossy.
Well, see.
Glossy.
Glossy will be alright, but yeah, like max
Glossy's
rarity.
easy.
It sucks that you can't spend a specific amount to get it, like 10 times.
Yeah, but like for an aesthetic thing, I don't know. Like Konami would make a fuck ton because people would just be in there just dropping massive dollars
I don't
to
see a
get royal
problem with
rares.
this.
I like the way that it is.
No, like I don't see a problem with that also being in the game.
Yeah.
Just let that fund.
Yeah, give people the luck, or let people.
Because we already have
spend
that in the
money.
normal game where people
Just,
rock up with.
Jake, it's more funding for Konami so they can do things like host more than a 100-person state championships in a state where you get 1,000 players at OCS.
Yep, not in this country.
Not in this country. No.
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 No. We didn't even talk about that, by the way. State championships for us has a 100 player cap.
Yeah, that's.
And I understand that in states where maybe they don't have that bigger player base, but New South Wales is absolutely the biggest player base in all of Australia.
Yes.
So to have a 100 player cap is actually ridiculous.
Like, we've had regionals recently that have had 130 players.
So to have a premier level event have
Like-
a 100 player cap.
I also, like, I already have my invite, so I don't need to go to states. But I would still like to go. And now I'm sitting on a waiting list because I messaged them at night, and then they were like, our automated response team will get to you tomorrow morning. And then I had to message them again 24 hours later to be like, hey, did you get my message? And they were like, we're full now, sorry. It's like,
In fairness,
people
they were
are
full
hopeless.
super early. So when I
I
first saw
messaged them half an hour after they published it.
you messaged them a while after they posted it.
Nah.
Yeah, because you did it while we were at KFC.
Nah. Fuck.
From a perspective of wanting
The
the game
point
to
stands.
wanting
The point
the peop-
stands, they didn't read my message until the next day.
wanting the game to grow, wanting people to just have fun and spend money and play card games, it's a stupid decision to put in a 100-person store in Penrith.
I would go.
Yes.
And that store has run stuff in like there's plenty of venues nearby that they could go out to. They just don't because whatever staffing issues they have. We keep doing this all the goddamn time, and it's getting super frustrating.
I don't know why it's being run by a store.
like.
It shouldn't be run by a store.
This should just be a Konami thing. This isn't a fucking regional.
Again,
if it's a regional, I completely get it. Like, cap your regional 100 players.
Yeah.
It's a state championship. It should be in a situation where you can have as many people there as possible.
When we were told that Nats was going away at YCS, we were told it would be replaced by state level, like by events in every state that had national level pricing. And
This is not.
like, so the way this was pitched to us was meant to be like it's a bit hard to try and organise the whole Nats thing. We're just going to bump it back down to states, and now it's just a glorified regionals.
I feel like this is
It's
like
not
the
even
perfect.
glorified regionals.
Yeah.
I
There
feel
are
like
regionals with more players.
I feel like this is like the perfect recommendation of like state versus federal government. Like the federal government had control of this thing. They're like, look, it's too much for us to do now. We're going to hand it over to the states. The states get it. They fuck it up, but they blame federal because they don't have blah 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 blah. Like
It's not the store's fault.
it's not the store's fault.
I do want to also preface. It's not the store's fault.
Well, the store could have said no. Sorry, we
Well-
can't run an unlimited cap event. Sorry, this is a state thing, not a regional thing. Fuck off.
This is correct. Yes. But then again, they're just going to turn around and go to a different fucking store with a smaller player cap and be like, hey, you're running this event. No. This should have been an official Konami thing. This should not have been handed to a store at all. It should have just been handed to a delegation. Like, fucking, I get that Konami Australia is in Brisbane, and like they would handle their own thing and have their own staff and not have to ferry people out. But like, there's a lot of judges, and like the highest ranking judge in Australia is in New South Wales. Find a way to make it work.
In that regard, I would really appreciate anyone who's living in a state other than New South Wales to tell me how their states is being run, what venues it's at, what caps it's at, just as a comparison.
I can very much see Brisbane just not having a cap, but every other state having
Well,
a
this
cap.
is what I want to see. I want to see if this is like an across the board thing. If like this is maybe just like a hint thing that has been said, like sort of like, look, it's unlimited, but realistically, you should only have about X amount of people. And it might be a staffing thing as well, because they only want to employ X amount of judges. So they're like, look, realistically, for this number of people,
That's the thing. They only employ one judge. Last state there was one judge. It was a
There's meant to
100.
be two.
It was a 120 person cap, and they're like, there you go.
no. Last year it was 100. They
And
just let in an
it's-
extra
yeah,
20
let
people.
in 20 more people.
They have allocations for most states to have two judges. But most of the states only put one judge and give them both stuff.
Give that one judge stuff for both, is what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, greed comes into it. Fantastic. I love that. No, don't employ someone else. Just give me double the stuff.
No.
I'm gonna run a shit event because I'm trying to cover 125 fucking people in one room,
Jesse-
but I want another box.
Tell us what Queensland states is like.
Yeah, and anyone else?
In other states,
Yeah, if you're in a state other than New South Wales or Queensland, let us know what's happening with yours. Really intrigued just to see what they actually do with that. Next question comes to us, I think, from a new listener, Skylancers.
Skylancers.
Are there other TCGs you guys are playing in right now or plan to in the future?
See.
What makes you keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh as your main card?
The other ones are kind of shit. Yeah, as my rant was like last week, we played Pokemon. It's fine. Shit, it's fine.
Pokemon's just a bit small brain.
Yeah, it's very small. Most of us play Commander except Jake, but like
Can't stand Magic.
regular Magic, fuck that. I ain't touching that shit.
No, I kind of defend. There's times like when you're drafting and stuff, like their alternative, like all their alternate formats can kind of get around the mana
Oh,
code
yeah.
bullshit.
Regular
Pretty alright.
regular Magic is fucking horrible, but their alternative games are like semi-playable. But even then, I only like Commander. Once I have 4 copies of a card in my deck and things get consistent, I'm like, fuck this.
And yet hates Tier Element because it's luck-based.
Yeah, but so that's the difference
Intriguing.
though. You can play like 10 games of Commander with a Commander deck, and each game you've just seen 10 like different cards, and it's a completely different game.
But also they have their card pool so deep that all these cards are pretty good. You're not like in tier where you're like, oh, everything's limited. Now I'm stuck with absolute shit cards.
Yeah.
Like in that, you've got 100 cards that all do 100 different good things.
Yes.
99.
And I like Highlander Yu-Gi-Oh. Highlander Yu-Gi-Oh is fun. I really like Highlander
We should do a Highlander again soon.
Yu-Gi-Oh. We just can't do it Highlander limited.
Oh no, we can't do traditional Highlander because it
Traditional
will
Highlander was a
absolutely just
disaster.
become Tier Element, Orcust, and all that nonsense.
See,
I'm
As
glad
much
we
as
tried
I
it.
would love that.
it was good that we tried it.
Yeah.
It's just not something.
Let's just never do it again. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh was the main. It has not been my main game for a while now, I guess. It's been mobile apps and bullshit. What's the other TCG that we played for a fair bit? We all kind of bailed on Digimon.
Yeah, we all bailed in Digimon pretty quickly.
I hung
played
on the
Dragon Ball for a
longest
while.
to Digimon.
It's a Bandai card game. This was gonna get fucked.
Yeah. And like I'm still part of like Digimon chats and stuff, and they tell me about new cards and things that are coming. I'm just like, these all sound ridiculous.
Yes. They have hand traps now in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do a few like we used to have like random excursions where like a fair amount of the player base would just go, oh, let's play this for a couple months while it's a bit quiet.
Like, we played Dragon Ball. That fell off a fucking cliff.
Star Wars Destiny.
Yeah.
Raw deal.
Oh, Raw Deal. Yeah, it was a wrestling card game that wasn't even stocked when we picked it up, and we were buying all these singles from this card store in Canada, which must have been like going, thank God someone's buying this. But then we broke that game way too quick.
Actually, it's only just dawned on me. This is like going right back in my fucking history. I think it was like when I was 11. my family was down the coast for Easter, and we're at a Lake Conjola, and me and this other guy I just met were going into like the lolly shop that was down there because it was like one shop because it was Lake Conjola. There were Harry Potter playing cards.
I thought it was going to end with him playing Duel Masters. I was like, fuck.
No.
Bit too early. 11. That's the. I mean, he was playing Yu-Gi-Oh at this point, but I wasn't yet.
No, those Duel Masters.
Duel Master wasn't out until after Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought that came out like 04 or 05. No, I was in high school for Duel Masters.
Since 2003.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm old. Shut up.
I'm
Anyway.
like, as soon as you said 11, I'm like, yeah,
But
I know where
anyway-
it was Easter when I was 11.
Anyway, there was a Harry
Dude.
Potter
I know where I was.
TCG. We bought almost every card that we could. Like, we didn't buy any lollies, but we went to the lolly shop for that entire week or whatever we
Where
were
was
there.
the store?
Lake Conjola. I don't know.
The fucking little, like, the post office.
Yeah, down there. Yeah, they had.
They had trading cards.
They had Harry Potter TCG. That's the only one they had.
This is a small town of like a tourist town where it's just one fishing post office general store, and that's fucking
And
it.
5,000 people go there every Easter.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we should really work out something better than this. No, they can go into town, but town was not much better either.
No.
Wow, so you got a whole bunch of Harry
Sure.
Potter cards.
Yeah, and we'd like verse each other. And again, it was like when you first got Pokemon cards and you didn't know the rules, so we just sort of made it up.
When you play.
So cooked.
I remember like we only had Pokemon cards on us, and we were all in a Yu-Gi-Oh. I was like, hey, you want to play this like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's just like defense modes, the HP, and the attacks. We were like, let's just play Pokemon like Yu-Gi-Oh. We definitely did that a few times.
I definitely did
Kind of
that too.
shitty.
I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh is a bit more straightforward in that regard. Like Pokemon, there's a bit to work out, like what you're supposed to do with the energies and stuff like that.
You start playing.
Huh?
Energies are one per pack. Fuck 'em up. You never have enough energies to actually play.
Yeah, we used to just do no energies.
Yeah.
True.
It's amazing.
I own Cardfight Vanguard and the other one,
Why Schwartz?
Washwartz. Jake remembered it. I didn't. I have both of those card games just laying around the house.
Did the Star Wars ones for Watchwords?
No, I have.
That nearly got me in, and they never did the English run. Also,
Wait. Don't tell them. What do you think Why Schwartz deck he has? The fact that you're thinking this long is concerning.
Yeah.
Dragon Man didn't get one, did they?
No.
anime
Oh, I think
card.
they're getting
They
one.
may well have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, fuck, which
Yeah, they did.
JoJo.
They did? Yeah, I thought they did. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
I just said, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was torn on. Fuck, was there a Dragon Man
Should have
one?
control. Yeah.
There's a Chainsaw Man coming in.
It's actually a fun card game.
Yeah.
Is it?
Like when you enter the climax zone or the climax phase, it's great.
and then when you're into the end phase, you just feel like shit. And leave it alone.
You like preparing.
Post climax
you're
clarity.
preparing-
Is anyone
when
following?
you realize you misplayed in the post climax.
I always misplay the play.
Is anyone
Anyway.
follow the Disney TCG? How that's developing?
No.
I'm half curious. I wonder if they'll nail it. I
I
doubt
know.
it.
I heard Tom say he was going to play Elsa Control, and I was like, I'm not about this.
Oh, that's. I'm curious because
I somehow feel like card game players are too intelligent to play a shit game like that. Because Tom's gonna be like, I'm playing Elsa Control, and his opponent's gonna be this 5-year-old girl being like, I got Olaf combo!
Yoo-hoo, summer blowout!
I think from what
Activate spam!
You've activated my trap. Olaf. Not Ola.
I'm sorry, that triggers my Ariel in hand.
Nah, I'm not touching that. Not the moment. Yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to go with it. Like, it'll whiff, but hopefully, if it gets a few people in the card stores, it might be good for the rest of us. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's just going to be YouTubers trying to collect it, and then. But I don't think they're doing high rarity stuff either. I think it's going to be nearly living card game style.
Realistically, I don't think they can do
It's
high
just gonna be,
rarity.
it's gonna be a CCG.
Yeah.
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 Next question.
Nenext question is from 6life6.
That's a good question though.
Which Yu-Gi-Oh monster would you keep as a pet?
Is Patamon a Yu-Gi-Oh monster?
No.
No.
Every guy picture that Patamon. Because, like, does it keep its abilities?
Well, then you just pick Karibo.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, then
this,
Multiply.
this bus is
Now I
about
have
to
20.
hit me. Karibo, get in here.
Explosion! Kill him, Karibo!
Effect Veiler, like go, go, go.
Blow up his eyes!
Wow, yeah, they are.
The Karibo is Effect Veiler.
Fail-
Trade a $6 card.
I'm not gonna go there. I would have Parrot Dragon.
I didn't pay for them.
Parrot Dragon always seem to be big,
I
though.
got the other one for free.
Yeah, I want a Great Dane too. What's your problem? I
But
like.
you just,
I like.
you just
big
have a
animals.
giant ass parrot with you. Like that's
I
it's
don't
got to
see
shit
what-
somewhere.
What, would you not want a Corviknight? Are you telling me you wouldn't want a Corviknight? Because if we're talking about
no,
Pokemon,
because
I
it's
would
too
have.
big.
No, there's no such thing.
This is a very confusing thing that I've just learned about Jake, is that he wants a big dog.
Oh yeah, I love big
But
dogs.
a Great Dane
I-
is like 2 times the size of you.
It's not that big. But also, I've always liked big dogs. Like, I also want a Newfoundland.
Why not just get a Canada? It's bigger.
Shut up.
I thought you were
That's such a shit geography joke. Holy fuck. It's honestly so niche that I even know that because I'm shit at geography.
That's Wombat.
Yeah, just Wombat's a good call.
Just fucking
Go
go
Master,
outside. There's one out there.
Master Oz.
Master Bros is too big.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
as a sub thing, how many like actually Australian animals have you seen in the wild?
All of them. Have you ever seen a platypus or an echidna?
Echidnas, yes. Platypus, no.
Oh,
It's
what?
gonna be really weird
I've seen a platypus.
in the wild.
Yeah.
Redwood. They're in the little river.
You go canoeing, you see
Oh,
the
platypus.
Knowing you lost me.
canoeing's alright. I mean,
Speedboat.
getting them.
It's better than kayak.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next
This is already a
question.
3-hour podcast.
6i6 asks, "What is your go-to for stress release?" No.
Well, play White Schwartz.
Yeah.
Climax. though.
No,
Climax, though.
no, shut up.
If you just on the side at a regional play whites with your opponent, yeah, you do get to enter the climax phase.
Oh my god. This is such a normal question that we've made terrible.
No, it's not. He knows what he did.
Alcohol.
Yeah, getting cooked or drunk and making decks is pretty good. That was a good what do you say? A good string of decks were made of mine back in Coniston of just getting on the booze and making something and looking at it, taking it in Sunday and go, oh, this sucks.
I'd say my go-to is probably a nice walk or a nice drive. I don't stress relieve often, that's why I'm always angry. But yeah, like I haven't done it for a while, but I used to take my car to get washed at a place, and then it was right near the lake, so I'd then just go for a walk around the lake. It's quite nice.
Now he just has a coffee.
Yeah, there's that too. Now I'm angry and anxious because I've had like 3 coffees in an hour.
That's just life, isn't it? Angry and anxious.
Yeah.
I already answered.
Okay, we're going with that. Alright, sure. Last question comes to us again from Skylancers. What archetypal playstyle would you like to see revived that hasn't been around for over 7 to 8 years? His would be the Pandemonium Archfiends. Those are the ones that are like chess pieces. Would love for them to get a ton of support that was actually decent and followed through with their playstyle. I actually agree with his because I've always really liked the Pandemonium Archfiends. Always really sick art. The effects were always a little bit shit, but
It's just because they're the archetype for Capsule Coliseum.
okay.
It's the Capsule Coliseum.
Could they not make light versions of all of those and just play off that you're playing the dark? Yeah.
Yes,
And
that'd
so,
be
yeah,
sick.
so the dark pieces all have shit effects because it's black and it goes second and it sucks, and white is just better. Oh. Hey, chess.
You've fallen
When do we cancel chess?
Yeah, when do we cancel chess?
When do
White
we
gets to
cancel
go
chess?
first.
Well, the queen's better, so at least there's something in there.
Yeah, but you lose if the king dies.
I don't remember the queen card.
There were 2. There were 2 queen.
Yeah, I remember it, like, it has like 2800 attack or something, doesn't it? But it was not good. And that's the problem. See, retrain to them, make it all white pieces. And we don't read them in any context.
Barry
No, we do
statue
read his
support.
context.
I want Barry statue support.
I have to look it up now.
It's just been funny.
Like, that just does something different based on the types, like...
Yeah, just a way to like combo out multiple barrier statues.
Oh, fuck off.
To stop,
No, that's the
purely
thing.
to stop,
That's the
stop
thing.
special summoning or anything else.
Nah, just for the fun of it.
But how do you get multiple out? I guess
Extra
multiple
normal summons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're
Extra
negated on your turn.
That's
Fire Fist is still dual bunch of support, and I would like to get back to the original controlling parts of Fire Fist, not the stupid Horse Prince combos. Horse Prince is a stretch.
You
So-
could summon all 5 barrier statues left in the game, and your opponent would just look at you and be like, "Okay."
So yeah, so the Queen had 2 ones. One was a dice roll one, which was a bit shit.
Yeah.
The other one was like you pay the 1,000 life points things unless you have the Pandemonium, and then you can target a level 4 level Fiend on the field and it gains 1,000 attack until the end phase.
Gain 7,000 attack, and it can attack directly.
Didn't that deck get support? Didn't he get a Link Monster?
Yes, but it's shit. Because it's also dice roll, but it's not dice roll to do yes or no. It's like options depending on what you hit, but you had to trigger whatever you hit, and one of them was like send this card to the graveyard.
Just radius support.
Oh,
They give that
Gradius.
every so often. We just
Yeah.
don't notice it because it's trash.
Yeah.
It was like the Skull Servant one, I'll just slip it one every now and then.
Only
Yeah.
tank 34 support?
Was there more cards to that?
No, but I like it.
Yeah, I do like it. It's cool, but I thought he was going to say, when I think of Omni Tank, I think of Overdrive.
Yes, I do too. Same. Ganesha Elephanta support. Please.
The fuck did you just say to me?
Ganesha Elephanta support.
Oh, okay.
My favorite card.
Gora Turtle.
Yeah.
Play to the base.
Fucking oh.
Parrot Dragon support.
Also,
It's
yeah.
so big.
No, I
A
like
Gora
that.
Turtle's a pet would be sick.
Where to?
Gora Turtle is a pet. Fuck. And Pokey Draco is a
Pokey
pet.
Draco was a pet.
Fuck. Bring back Cyber Falcon too while we're at it.
If you had Cowboy as a pet,
Would you pay
I
do
know
you just
it.
have a man with 2 guns walking around?
Sick him.
He also maybe has a collar and a lead.
Moving right to the end. Thank you all very much for watching. As I said, feel free to jump into our Discord. Let us know how your experience with Master Duel is going, and let us know what your state is doing for your states. But otherwise, leave us questions in our Discord. Like us on YouTube. Favorite us on your streaming services, and we will catch you all next week. Peace.
He only does 800 damage. That's only 10%.
No matter